Okay, hey everybody, welcome. It's Wednesday. We're back here again at 6:40 p.m. True to form, yep, that the class before ours went right up until 6:30. So this is good to know. When we do our our in-person pairing and mobbing, which happens on Wednesday nights, there's going to be a tight transition between classes. No problem. It looks like there were a lot of people here before, so it was a good class happening before. Now it's time for us though. So as I said, as I realized, as we realized on Monday, since the following Monday, the 20th, is a school holiday, I had to move things around a little bit. So tonight we'll still do what we intended. Actually, no, I guess tonight we'll do what we intended to do or what I intended to do on Monday, which is to observe others pair programming. We're going to be doing an exercise in that tonight. But I added some other, but the content that we would have covered tonight around introducing Project One, talking about how we test our projects and how we document our projects. I recorded a screencast for that. It's available here and on the YouTube playlist for the classes for this term. We can start with questions about that during Prime Minister's questions. And then we will dive into pair programming. And if we have any time left tonight, which we may or may not, I don't know, sometimes the operating theater can go pretty quickly, sometimes it can go pretty slowly. We'll do some more test-driven development. But let's start off with Prime Minister's questions. How are the katas going? How are you finding them? Hope people are making progress on them. Any learnings that you want to share? Any questions that you have about the katas? Let's see, I'll check chat here for any questions. No. Hope they're coming along because tonight, Project One is assigned. And I hope folks had an opportunity to. Oh, that's a good point. Do you need a POA, a plan of attack for the koans? The answer is no, you do not. It'd be a pretty long POA, but right. Yep, with the koans. Let's see your question. Are the koans going to help us with quiz 2? I want to know more about the in-depth content you expect. Oh yeah, the depth of content that you expect on. Yep, on. Sorry. I want to know more about the quiz 2 to know if the way you expect the README. Wait, I'm sorry. Two questions there. Sorry. Okay. Are the koans going to help us with Quiz 2? Yes, I like to think so. As I recall, Quiz 2 is all about the Java programming language. So between the stuff in the review slides of the Java programming language overview and what you experience in the koans, that should help you with Quiz 2. Quiz 2 is due next Wednesday. It probably opens up tonight. And then I want to know more about the depth content you expect within the readme.md. Okay, sorry, it's a readme.txt. It's not a markdown file. It's a readme.txt for Project One. Well, I talked about this in the video, but I'll just highlight a couple of things from the How to Document Your Projects handout. So again, this is the plan of attack. It's 2 to 4 paragraphs. So basically, your goal is to convince me that you've thought about the project and that you have a good approach. I think for this one, you talk about in Project One, the POA for Project One. Talk about how you're going to parse the command lines, or what maybe some of the scenarios, the edge cases that you're looking to handle. Because you're right, there's not a tremendous amount of implementation, but there's some things that might be new to you, like the collections for the flights that are in an airline. So things like that. And again, really what I'm looking for is evidence that you've put some thought into the project a couple days in advance. Greg, does that answer your question? Yep, okay, no problem. Cool. And then again, yeah. The POAs are only for like the airline projects. They're not for the koans. Cool. Okay. Um, Anything else I can tell you about Project One? It's due in a couple of weeks on the 29th. It's probably what, 2 weeks from tonight. One of the things I got to tell you is that Project Two will be assigned next Wednesday, and so then you'll have multiple projects that could be in play at the same time. The reality is that yeah, you probably have to get stuff mostly working well before the due date because there's other stuff to start. So because of the way things are spaced, it's possible to get behind. Let's see here. Can we ask for help and show our code if we have problems? You mean like right here and now, Greg? Or is that sort of a question for office hours? Uh, oh yeah, totally office hours. Yeah. So is I'm happy to see your code. Also, feel free to make me a collaborator on your repository. I know a number of you already did that. Thanks. I think that'll make it much easier. Hey, if you have a question, it's like, hey, I'm seeing this unit test fail, or oh, hey, this code isn't compiling for me, or whatever. It's much easier for me to look at the code. And actually, I've been known to put a pull request and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, no, you want to use this API instead, or oh, yeah, here's a little logic problem. Things like that. But yeah, a direct message in Slack is okay. But totally during office hours, we can share screens or whatever. It's not a big deal. Thanks for asking. Okay. Just to help you plan, quiz one was due tonight. I will ask the graders, both of whom are onboarded now. I'll ask them to grade that over the weekend. And then, the koans are due in another week. So please make sure they're well underway. And I'll leave it up to you to determine how you want to balance breaking ground on Project One with finishing off the koans. Yeah. Cool. Any other questions, things you're wondering about? Yep. Okay. Okay, well, tonight we're going to begin our exploration of pair programming. And I have like a big old handout here that I've created. I'll post it in this chat, and I'll also post it in Slack. I can find the window, but of course, launch meeting here. Yep, here's Slack. Here's the channel. Okay, here is the handout for tonight. Tonight and next Wednesday, actually, too. Okay, we'll start with tonight. Okay, feel free to play along at home. So, last time we learned about, we got to explore test-driven development, right? We created that student project, we brainstormed some scenarios, and then we implemented. We started to see some unit tests. Oh, right, thank you, Access. I bet I forgot to share it with everybody. Thank you. Anyone with a link can edit. And so cool. Oh, good. People are in now. Thank you. So then we'll continue to explore test-driven development, but in the context of pair programming. So so what we'll do tonight is I'll talk about pair programming. But everybody had a chance to review the lecture. I know it was a little earlier than we expected, but so I got an overview of what pair programming is all about. We'll also watch a cheesy little video that shows how students can pair program. But then we'll spend the bulk of our time tonight doing an activity in which volunteers here in the classroom will pair with me on a simple code kata called FizzBuzz. And then this is all about just practicing and seeing it for the first time and getting to understand what pair programming is all about. Next time everyone will be doing it. So next time everybody will be in person. Again, this is next Wednesday. Our next class is next Wednesday, January 22nd. Please be here in person and bring an HDMI adapter so we can leverage things like the projectors around the room if you'd like. Before we start talking about pair programming, though, I want to go over some mechanics. So I created a repository for what are our code katas. So katas are little programming exercises that are good at exploring or learning about a particular concept, like test-driven development or object-oriented programming, or a new language like Java. And I created a code repository for a repository in GitHub for all of us to share. So this is always an interesting an experiment in lots of people working on GitHub. When I started doing this initially, I said, "Oh, everybody go and create their own repository." That just took forever. And so instead, I've created one for you, and I'd like you to get a clone of it and start working on it. So yeah, if we look at the code repository, oops, I meant to launch it. There we go. This is another repository that's cloned from the getting started, so it should seem familiar. Actually, I'll go and delete all the project creation scripts and stuff. And it's got a single project in it called FizzBuzz, which will be the kata for tonight. I will add more projects for the pairs, for the next set of katas, and for the mobbing katas when we do all of that. But for tonight, we're just going to focus on FizzBuzz here. And so please, my intent is that everybody has the ability to contribute to this repository, because we're all going to be pairing and eventually mobbing on code in here, which means that I need to add everybody in the class as a collaborator. If when you filled out the survey program, if you offered up your GitHub ID, I added you. I think there were a couple people that I wasn't able to add. So I'd like everybody to try the following, either now or if you're not playing along at home in real time, please do this afterwards. There's a file here called I can edit this repo.txt. And I'm going to open this up in IntelliJ so I can show it to you more easily. So I opened up the top level pom.xml here in IntelliJ. And I have the following. So like one of the things, actually, I just thought of this like half an hour ago, so maybe it'll be a complete disaster. But one of the first challenges of getting started with this repository that everybody shares is make sure everybody's got access. And so here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to try to edit this file. And so I went through, I don't know, Banner or Canvas or something, and found everybody's initials. What I'd like you to do is to go find your initials in your file. Actually, I should have done that here. So like my initials, I'll put this down here at the end. DMW. So if my initials were here, I would just replace it. It looks like we're taking attendance. I would say here. And then I would commit and push that change. I'm here. I want to make sure that I can commit and push this change up to GitHub. And that will verify that you have the ability to edit the, it looks like it was rejected because someone else already did it. That's super awesome. I'm going to merge in my change. See if this works. Might have to, okay, it looks like I was successful. You might have to go back and forth a couple of times. Yeah. I do not want you to fork in PR. I want everybody's working on the main branch. Yep, great. Awesome. Yeah. Well, let's keep it simpler, especially as like the pairs and the mobs change over time. So again, if you would, please make a git clone of this repository. And so you do that by finding the URL of your choice from this Katas Winter 2025. And then, actually there's some directions here. So yeah, clone this repository, then run maven w clean verify just to make sure that everything builds for you in your local environment. Then open it up in IntelliJ and attempt to modify the I can edit this repo.txt file. And if you're not able to push because you don't have permissions, please DM me your GitHub ID, and I will add you as a collaborator. I don't know, either during break or later tonight or something like that. So we'll just give people a couple of minutes just to make sure that this works. Oh, looks like someone can't see my screen. Can others? It looks like I'm sharing my screen. Can others see my screen? Okay, good. Thanks. Nope, no problem. Okay. I'm going to go back to my repository and get some changes that are coming in, see if people are able to. Oh, looks like all files are up to date. I'll hide that video now. It should be. So the question was initials. They're the initials that the best I could find. Um, and so yeah, you're probably WT, Wesley. I don't know. And also, oh, if your initials aren't there, because I don't know, maybe I missed somebody or whatever, just edit down here at the bottom of the file. Here again, the whole goal is can you edit this file? And I want everybody to edit their own line, because otherwise, if two people edit the same line, it's a conflict in Git, and it's just harder to resolve, and all sorts of things will happen. Oh, excellent, good. There's an example of someone who. Well, I thought I got yours, Logan. Sorry. There's an example of someone who wasn't able to push because they didn't have permissions. And let's see here. Oh, there's your GitHub ID. So I'll see if I can add you real quick here to that repository. Collaborators and teams, add people. Oh, it says that you have an invitation pending. So interesting. So yeah, log into GitHub, and I think it'll ask you to accept that invitation. Yeah, Brendan. Don't bother making a fork. Instead, if you send me your GitHub ID, then I'll add you. Cool. Oh, good. Looks like people are able to push. Super awesome. Okay, awesome. I'll add a couple of people. Thanks for bearing with me as we go. You're all writers. I think everybody gets an email if I invited you. I can quick check, Christian, to see if you were on the list of people I invited already. Nice. Okay, I got some other people coming in. This is cool. How did you open the project? Did you open it by double-clicking on the top level pom.xml, or did you open the directory? Yep. Okay. Yeah, some people got emails. I think someone just DM'd me in Slack. Anyway, good. It looks like some people are able to contribute. Yeah, we'll make sure that. That's Kira. Nice. Okay. Well, cool. So whether it's tonight or later, please make sure that you have the ability to work with this repository, because it's something that everybody's going to have to do in the course. Nice. Okay. While more people are doing that, I do want to move on and talk more about what we're doing tonight. So the whole idea is that we're all going to be working in this repository, and we're going to be working on this simple kata, and we're going to be doing this in pairs. So now I have a set of slides called "Working with Others to Develop Software." And I have a screencast that's all about pair programming. Again, if you haven't watched already, please do so. You hear the word pair programming, it's like, okay, well, I know what that means. Two people working together, on the code. But there are some very important details and practices involved in pair programming that make it effective. And so it's important that you understand those so that when you're pairing, it's not just chaos. You realize there is, just enough structure to, to make the time together effective. So, you know, the whole idea is that pair programming has two people working on the same keyboard on the same problem at the same time, and really maybe I should say the same screen. Hey, traditionally the keyboard was passed back and forth. You know, even though it's after COVID, hey, it's like respiratory illness season, right? So let's be careful here. Instead, what we'll do is we'll use Zoom. We'll share in Zoom so that everybody can see each other's screens. And when you combine pair programming and test-driven development, what you get is like really high-quality code, right? It's tested, and you've got multiple eyes on it, so it works, and it actually ends up going faster, and you don't have like these knowledge silos that build up. I mean, one of the things I've encountered so many times in my career is that there is some aspect of your software that only a few people or sometimes only one person knows about. Right? Oh, it's the code that they wrote, and usually like years ago, and they're the only person that's maintaining it. And this is a huge risk for a couple of reasons. There's the risk to the organization because boy, that person goes on vacation, or that person quits, or wins the lottery, or whatever. All of a sudden, there's no one else that knows about it. There's also a risk to that individual, though. While I suppose it's not unreasonable to think it's like, oh, this is job security because I'm the only person that does this, but it's also restraining to your career. And I've seen so many people that just sort of get pigeonholed. It's like, oh, well, that's the only one thing that they can do, and we need that thing done. So that person is the only person that's able to do that. So this is why I like people working together. You get a better solution faster with higher quality, and you have a more resilient team, a more resilient system because multiple people know how to work in every piece of code. So as I was saying, pair programming really benefits from having just enough structure so that people can work well. And especially when we're getting started, I found that it's most effective to follow the rules, right? It helps you understand why things are the way they are. So, sorry, I'm just like making sure this is cool. I'll get back to that those here shortly. In pairing, there are each member takes on one of two roles. The first is the driver. The driver is basically the hands that are on the keyboard is the person that is typing the code into the IDE, and what they're focusing on at any given moment is the syntax that they're writing. They're very tactical in nature. It's like, hey, what do we need to write next? What's the next test I need to write? Actually, no, not even that. It's like, how do I write the next test? They're really like in the minute by minute, second by second problem solving. The navigator in the pair is sort of the brains, right? They're the one that's looking at the bigger picture. They're observing what's happening. They're looking at the code. Maybe they're thinking 2 steps ahead. They're understanding, okay, yeah, where are we going to have to go next? And they're having a conversation with the driver, right? It's not silent, and it's not like one person sitting there and they're looking over the other. The navigator doesn't sit there and look over the driver's shoulder and say, "Oh no, you misspelled that," or "Oh no, here's what you want." It's more like they're talking back and forth about like, "Well, what's the next test I should write?" "Well, I think you should do this." "Okay, how about doing it this way, or how about doing it that way?" But you're typing, and code is coming out at the all the time. And so the navigator is a much more strategic thinker. Now, one of the really important things in pair programming is that individuals switch roles every few minutes. This avoids fatigue and also helps people develop their driving and navigation skills. It also makes sure that there's sort of equal time for both people, so one person doesn't dominate the conversation. So. Like when I pair, I like to go in. I think we'll do like 7 or 10, maybe 7 for the FizzBuzz anyway. We'll do 10 on next week. We'll do 7-minute rounds where a driver and a navigator. Someone else will pair with me, and we'll decide who's the driver, who's the navigator, and we'll code. We'll pair for 7 minutes, and then we'll do a brief a retrospective we'll set aside like 2 minutes just to sort of talk about what happened. It's like, hey, what did you see? What was effective? What wasn't effective? Oftentimes, you'll get feedback like, oh, wow, we need to go learn about that API some more. Or, hey, I had an idea, but I couldn't get a word in edgewise. How do we, make this work? And then after a quick retrospective, you sort of plan for what you do next. Maybe it's like, oh, we should go refactor some code, and then you switch. And then the driver becomes the navigator becomes the next driver, and you go on from there. So the whole idea is that there is this rhythm to pairing, and that's what helps you sustain it over time. Because it's not just one person watching another person code, nor is it two people just like constantly bickering about the code. It really is a conversation, and it works well. There have been a couple of patterns that have emerged. There's something called strong style pairing, which is a good technique to use when there is sort of a knowledge mismatch between the two people. Maybe you've got someone who's very experienced with the code, or maybe just has a lot more experience developing it in general. Again, it's this conversation, but in that case, the navigator is really instructing the driver what to do. Maybe even start telling them what words to type, right? If you're not super familiar with the language, like some of you might not be yet, right? As the driver, you might need that input into, hey, what exactly is the syntax of the language, or hey, what was that assert method from Hamcrest again? Which one do I use there? As the driver, you need to bubble that stuff up, and it is perfectly all right. As a matter of fact, it's just super effective. It's the right thing to do to say, okay, I'm not sure where to go next. Where should I go next? That's what the navigator is there for, is to help the driver figure out where to what to do next. So the whole idea is that in order for and this is all part of learning, right? So in order for the code to be written, an idea has to go from the navigator's head through the driver's hands, and that's the whole idea. So the navigator has to be good at talking and expressing themselves in spoken word. Ping pong pairing is a nice technique that fits in nicely with TDD. So the whole idea is that the driver will write the test, and then once the test is written and you see it read, then they switch, and then the other person makes a pass and then writes the next test, and sort of do the red green refactor back and forth, ping ponging back and forth between the two people. And again, this is nice. It helps develop people's test writing skills. And again, no one person stays in a particular role for too long. There's a lot of great information out there about pair programming. Here's a couple of links that I like from Martin Fowler and Llewellyn Falco, just all about pair programming. Before we watch a video about pair programming, is there any questions conceptually about pairing, or any specific things that you're wondering about? Oh, question from Brendan. Are these the primary patterns we'll be focusing on for the class? I thought I saw some more in the documentation. By the documentation, if you mean the handouts or the slides, yes, there are other pairing and a whole bunch of mobbing patterns too. But I think this is a good place to start. Again, pair programming might seem deceptively simple, but until you do it, until you sort of get there in the moment, let's build it up over time. So tonight we're going to keep it super simple, just for the sake of demonstration. You'll have an opportunity to do it next Wednesday. It's really up to you and your partner, right? You and the person you're pairing with, to figure out how exactly you want to go. But I encourage you to stick with, at least for the first time or two, stick with fairly rigid roles, so you can explore what it means to be a driver, explore what it means to be a navigator. Maybe you say, great, we're gonna ping pong this one. Yeah, great, and stick with it for a while. Nice. Okay, I'm going to reshare with sound and video so we get a little higher quality. Share sound, share video. And I'm going to go back here and then introduction to pair programming. Let's see here. I don't want to watch them. Are we getting audio? I didn't check.
Hello and welcome to...
Oh, it's super cheesy. Hey, did everybody on Zoom hear that okay? Yep, great, awesome, thanks guys. I'm gonna full screen this and let me know if it's too loud here in the room.
Hello and welcome to Fun with Pair Programming, an introduction to pair programming for students. If you're a student who is new to pair programming, you've come to the right place. This video will help provide valuable information to make you the best pair programmer you can possibly be in your classes and beyond. Pair programming refers to the practice whereby two programmers work side by side on one computer, collaborating on the same design, algorithm, code, or test. The pair is made up of a driver who actively types at the computer or records a design, and a navigator who watches the work of the driver and identifies problems, asks clarifying questions, and makes suggestions. Switch roles from time to time to share the work evenly and get the most out of your pair programming experience. You'll hear effective pairs constantly chatting as they jointly decide how to tackle the task at hand.
Well, actually, I don't even know where it's saving this stuff. So we create a new patient and it adds record. Oh,
Alright.
probably in save data file. Mm-hmm. So it's going through, looks like a list of records.
Mm-hmm. So we probably, since we just added the height and weight, I don't know if that's actually getting written.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
So
Why do so many thousands of students around the world prefer pair programming? Why don't we ask some to compare old-fashioned solo programming to this new and innovative system?
wait, what was the order?
You would program by yourself, so you usually be just by yourself in a computer, maybe in a cube or at a single desk, and it's a very lonely type thing. It can be.
Well, it could be really frustrating. You'd sit there banging your head against the desk and trying to find, the missing bracket, or couldn't figure out why the logic in your program didn't quite work right. And with two people there, it's a lot easier to work those problems out a lot more quickly, so you're not frustrated all the time.
This is nothing new either. Most science labs take advantage of lab partners and small groups. Computer science is no different. You can learn a lot from working with other people. Students find it helps them get better scores on programming projects. Pair programming helps them learn, so they get better grades on exams as well. Mostly, students report that they enjoy getting to know the people in their classes better. This makes it much easier to interact when problems do arise, because you've got a class full of friends instead of strangers. Last, but certainly not least, students are much more likely to figure out solutions if they've got someone to brainstorm with, and this can lead to faster completion times and a better understanding of the subject matter. Students often find the whole experience much more enjoyable and less frustrating. Pair programming will also help you prepare for your career in computer science. In the professional world, people collaborate and pair program all the time, and as an expert, you'll already be ahead of the game. Have you ever spent most of your class time with your hand in the air, getting nowhere on a project while you wait for help from your professor or lab instructor? With pair programming, those days are history, and you'll find yourself having a lot more fun. Who knows? Maybe you'll even look forward to the alarm going off in the morning so you can get to class. Now that you know the basics, let's look at some simple do's and don'ts of pair programming. First, be sure to talk. Not a minute should go by when you're not communicating somehow. Don't say anything that might insult your partner. Even if you're only joking, he or she might take it personally. Don't forget to listen, too. Both the driver and the navigator should be fully engaged in the project. So much so that the driver can pass the keyboard to the navigator at any time, and he or she will be ready for the switch with no questions asked. Periodically switch positions so you can gain experience in both roles. Switching helps prevent errors and stimulates conversation, too. Be patient. Be prepared to explain yourself to your partner, and don't get frustrated if they don't understand it first. By explaining your work to your partner, you'll be helping yourself learn as well. Remember the ancient Chinese proverb, to teach is to learn. And be sure to give the driver a little time to correct his or her own mistakes. After all, no one likes a backseat driver. Respect your partner. The golden rule is key here. Just remember to treat your partner with the same level of respect that you expect from him or her. It doesn't matter if they are from another culture, an introvert, an extrovert, a procrastinator, or the valedictorian. We are all here to accomplish one thing, and everyone has something to offer. Take breaks. You can get more done in 1 hour pair programming than in several hours by yourself. But this can take a toll on your brain. Don't forget to take a break every so often to keep yourself fresh and energetic. When you return, you'll likely see something you overlooked before. Be prepared. Be sure to do any preliminary work ahead of time, and don't be late for appointments with your partner. Their time is valuable, as is yours. Hygiene. Think about it. How would you feel if the person you were going to spend a couple of hours with smelled terrible? Take a shower, brush your teeth, bring some mints. You know the drill. Have fun! Working with someone else can be a lot more fun than working by yourself. You can share a laugh, relieve some tension, and have someone to celebrate with when you get that last test case to pass. Believe me, that's a great feeling. Now that we've gone through all the things you should do as a pair programmer, let's go through some of the things you should avoid when working with your partner. Don't be a keyboard hog, or think that just because your partner is a novice and you're more experienced, that they won't bring something to the table. Don't constantly tell other people what to do either. You don't want to be the only person in the class that no one wants to work with because you're too bossy. There is another side to that coin, so don't be intimidated. Some people are afraid that they don't know enough, but chances are your partner feels the same way, and you both know way more than you give yourself credit for. Trust me, it will all be fine. The primary goal of pairing is to work together towards the best possible solution, so don't be afraid to speak up if you disagree with your partner from time to time. Your partner may as well be working alone if you're not willing to speak up. If you're unhappy with your pair programming situation, for any reason, don't hesitate to talk to your professor or teaching aide. That's their job, and they will be happy to help you resolve whatever problem you may have. As you can see, there are many benefits to pair programming, but there are also a few speed bumps. Sometimes you'll find it difficult to find time in your schedules to meet, for example. But students all over the world agree that the benefits outweigh any drawbacks that they can find.
If there's two of you working on it, typically you're spending a lot less time working on it, so this is great for homework. Then also I would say that in general, your solution is going to be better.
So if you're working with somebody and their grade or their deadline matters to you, you're more likely to get your work done at an earlier time. Also with pair programming, you can typically have higher grades on assignments. There's higher quality code as well.
This concludes our journey through the exciting world of pair programming, but there's still much to learn. Take these tips with you into your next pair programming lab and join the growing number of pair programmers across the country, the world, and beyond.
Good cheesy fun. So what are some observations of that video? What did you think? What ideas do you have for your own pair programming? Should have brought mints. Yeah, hope everybody took a shower. Yeah. Oh, like the sharing of the keyboard? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. although in here everybody's going to work on their own laptops, we'll use either look over somebody's shoulder or use Zoom to collaborate. I at one point the department bought me a whole bunch of USB keyboards, and they're like super clicky, 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 and everything like that. They're these big old honking things. I don't even know if they still exist. If I still be up in that room I used to use. But of course, like with any USB keyboard, it doesn't have the right mapping and everything like that. So people didn't. It really wasn't that useful. But yeah, I think in if you do it professionally or if you do it like as part of a long-term pair, yeah, it does work best to have physically the keyboard and the mouse move between two partners. Observations on Zoom. Nope, not so much. Okay then. Okay, so that's our choose little video. So let's see here. As we were just saying, traditionally, yeah, there are two people who are co-located that are literally sitting next to each other and passing the keyboard back and forth. But remote pairing is a completely legitimate thing to do. You'll have the option to pair remotely in the third session. I found that there's just tons of benefit of experiencing in-person pairing. You'll understand the dynamic. What I've had students tell me in the past is that by experiencing in person first, it makes it much easier to sort of understand what remote pairing is all about. So we're going to do that in this course. However, yep, you can use a GitHub to basically pass the code back and forth because you're not there at the same machine. You're not sharing the same keyboard. What I like to do is at the end of the rotation is have the driver commit the code to GitHub and push it up. And then after the quick retrospective, then the next driver pulls the code down into their environment, make sure everything builds, and then they start the round. And again, if people are sharing their screens in a video call, then you can see actually you have to see what people are coding. There's also this feature that IntelliJ has called Code with Me that allows people to collaborate in real time on source code. It's kind of novel and kind of neat, but I've found that it doesn't provide the same sort of cadence and clear distinction between driving and navigating. So I don't recommend that people use it when they start pairing. Maybe it's something that as you get very comfortable with it would make more sense. It tends to result in a free-for-all, whereas everybody's typing in things and no one's really navigating. Everybody's driving at the same time, and then it gets a little wacky that way. So excuse me, that's what we're doing tonight with the Katas repository. And so I've been using this word kata, and I want to explain what it's all about. So these katas are small programming problems that are good for learning something new, like new language, a new programming technique, or refactoring techniques, things like that. These are problems that are meant to practice. So we'll do FizzBuzz tonight. It's like a very, very simple problem to solve. The goal is not to solve the problem quickly. The goal is to learn from solving the problem. And so very often it's not so much about implementing FizzBuzz. It's about how do I do test-driven development, or hey, how do I do pair programming? It's meant to be a relatively straightforward way of experimenting in software development. And actually throughout the course, in all of our mobbing and pairing sessions, we'll be doing katas. Plus, we'll also spend 2 sessions doing a refactoring kata, which I think is super cool. I really enjoy doing that. So tonight we're going to work in the operating theater. This is a term that I sort of coined for what we're going to do. So 5 or 6 of the folks in the classroom, I hope we can get some volunteers to pair with me up here at the front of the class. And then everybody here in the classroom and in Zoom can observe what it is that we're doing, what we do. We'll use strong style pairing, because here again, right? It's only the 3rd week of the course, 2nd week of the course. I can't remember where we're at. and so then, yeah, there might be some things like, oh, I'm not, I can't remember that thing about JUnit, or hey, what Java API do I use to do certain things? That's okay, right? Essentially, it's probably good to get practice sort of like being vulnerable and learning how to ask good questions anyway. So we're going to do that tonight. So, but I do acknowledge you're going to be up here coding in front of your peers, which might be very uncomfortable. So this is completely optional. Hoping you get enough people to have some good demonstration. But please, it's a good way to sort of get some experience doing that. So, if you want to be a volunteer in the FizzBuzz project, there's pom.xml. I'll turn that down a little bit. Here in the classroom. In the pom.xml, there is a developers section. And if you'd like to pair with me, put your name here under one of the students and select whether you want to be the driver or the navigator. I will play the other role. And we will, and this will be my guide in terms of who goes in which order. You don't need to change the ID. It's just like 1, 2, 3, so we know how many students there are. So again, that is in the pom.xml file inside the FizzBuzz directory. And while people are hopefully signing up, I want to talk about the Kata itself. So FizzBuzz is a very simple algorithm. Actually, I'll just talk about it now. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. So the whole idea is that you are inventing like this fun numbers game for determining whether or not numbers are divisible by certain other numbers. And so there's some very simple rules to the game. So the whole idea is that for a given number, you're given a number, and in response, you're supposed to say something. So if the number is, so we'll go through the number starting with 1. And if the number is divisible by 3, you say fizz. And if it's divisible by 5, you say buzz. And if it's not divisible by 3, it's not divisible by 5, you just say the number back. And so you start out with 1, 2, fizz, 4, buzz, et cetera, et cetera. And so then you go up there. So very simple rules. And we're going to figure out how to model those using Java code and how to write tests to make sure that our Java code does what we expect it to. So, ultimately, when it comes down to it, what we'll do is we'll write a program that prints the numbers 1 to 100. And if the number is divisible by is a multiple of 3, then it'll print fuzz. If it's divisible by 5, then it'll print buzz, and if it's divisible by both 3 and 5, then you print FizzBuzz. So then, here is a sample output for, I guess, 1 through 20, and you can see, 15 is FizzBuzz. There's some additional requirements, but maybe we'll get to those, maybe we won't tonight. We'll see how that goes. Anybody ever seen this before? Yeah, right. Heard about it. Okay, yeah, it's I don't know, something that maybe people ask about in programming interviews. I don't know if that was sort of a thing a couple of years ago. Okay, so now I'm looking for a couple of volunteers to come up with me. What we'll do is we'll share the screen. Let's see here. I will. Let's see. Sharing options. Make it so that other people can share their screen, and we'll do a little bit of coding together. We'll do some pair programming. And, well, I was going to say it might not be as bad as you think, but maybe it will be as bad as you think. I don't know. Yeah, give it a try. I don't have a good way of selling this. It's okay. Anybody signed up yet? I really need a partner. Need someone to volunteer. You're on the repo? Oh, let's get you on the repo then. Thanks, Daniel. Okay, yeah, sorry. Did you IM it to me, or did you put it in the Zoom chat? Okay, awesome. Thanks. Oh, there you are. Yep. Thank you. Yeah, and actually, while I'm here, I'll do a couple more. Cool. Okay, and then, yeah, did I get anybody on Slack? Oh, okay, I got a couple of people. Nice, okay. I guess while Daniel's getting set up, it's in the FizzBuzz directory, and it's pom.xml. Nice. And again, once people get access, well, Daniel can just commit to that pom.xml, but otherwise, make sure that you can commit and push to the that I can push to the repository or whatever that top level file was called. Oh, it looks like, yeah, Manisha, I already got you. Yeah. And so let's see here. So, what we'll do is we'll implement the Kata using test-driven development in really small increments. So we'll come up with a very simple test based on those requirements, and we'll do that red-green refactor cycle. We'll see how it goes. And so we'll start with a failing test, and we'll use the FizzBuzz test class. And then we will implement production code in the FizzBuzz class to make it pass. And then we will look for opportunities to make the code more readable. Like most code, when you start from scratch, there usually aren't too many opportunities for refactoring, but we'll discover some over time. And again, we're not here to go fast necessarily. We're here to learn and experience with test-driven development. So what we'll do is first off, with the first person, we'll review the requirements of the kata, and then we'll do what are called pomodoros. So the whole idea is that you work for you focus on something for a couple of minutes, and then you take a little break, and you focus on one thing for several minutes. You focus on something else for a couple of minutes, and then you go back to the first thing. And the idea here is that it helps you focus on getting things done. And it helps you maintain your energy because you're switching off of a problem every few minutes. So we'll do 5 minutes of coding. We'll do 7 minutes of coding, and then we'll reflect for 2 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next volunteer. And then who's ever driving will commit their code, and we'll push it up to GitHub, and then the new pair, the new driver will pull it down. And then after every 2 or 3 pomodoros, then we'll do a larger retrospective to see what observations people who aren't the pairs have. So do we have any more volunteers? Greg, thanks for being the second volunteer. Oops. What? Well, I think Daniel's working on it, right? Yep. It's not? Oh. Oh, is it just, it's probably, they're probably changes that need to be merged in or something like that. Have any success, Daniel? No? Okay. How about you share your screen? Let's work through it. Yeah. Actually, would you mind coming up here so I can look over your shoulder too? Thanks. You can sit if you'd like, or if you want to stand. You can sit if you like, or if you want to stand.
Yeah, sure, I'll do stand.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, get this out of the way then. Okay,
Actually,
so
I'll
let's see.
sit.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, if you could share your screen.
Screen. Where's the button for that?
It would be up under here, I believe. Under the, now you gotta like expand that thing.
Wait, what's that?
On the green thing it says, oh, it says
No.
you are screen sharing.
That's you. That's your screen.
Oh, really? You're seeing, oh, I didn't realize you saw that thing. Oh,
Yeah, I
you're
gotta
right.
replace current screen.
Gotcha, okay.
It's at the bottom. So I'm having trouble to get.
Okay, so then it's doing a git pull. Oh, okay, right. So what it's telling you is that it's got some changes, it doesn't know how to merge them in.
Right.
And so, yeah, I recommend that you do that first one, the git config pull under pull.rebase faults. Yeah. Yes, right. So the reason this happened is that he had a check out of a particular revision. He committed some new code. Meanwhile, someone else had checked in some other code into GitHub, and when he went and pulled those changes into his repository, Git's like, wait a second, you don't have the entire history. You need to merge things together. And out of the box, there isn't a default merge strategy. So that's basically what he's got to do.
And why is he doing rebase all
I have to admit, I have like this weird, I wouldn't exactly call it prejudice. I'm afraid of rebase, honestly. It's like, it don't work for everybody else. There's something about it I just don't get. I always feel better merging. There's something like, I don't want it to I want to see my commit history. I want to see everybody else's commit history too, right? So, yeah, otherwise I don't trust it. But oh yeah, what does rebase do? It reapplies his changes to it, which always seems a little dicey to me. Yeah, I recommend. That's a good point. I should probably, yeah. Okay, that works. Cool. So, are you able to pull now? Local changes of the following files will be overridden by the merge. Yeah. So, merge strategy where T would fail. How about we open up an IntelliJ?
Okay.
Let's do it that way. Okay.
Project.
Yep. Yeah, I remember to open the pom.xml, the top level pom.xml. It's probably that first one on the left there, Katas 1.5. Yeah. The pom.xml. I know, it's yeah.
Second row, second.
Yep.
Pom.xml.
Let's say open as project. Yep.
Sweet.
And yes. Nice. Oh, we got someone looking for the waiting room. So now if you go into the Git menu, which, yeah, the Git menu and say pull.
Pull.
And then, yep, from origin main. Commit stash. Yeah, so, oh, interesting. Do you have uncommitted changes? So if you look on that right there, the second one, yeah, commit, you have, oh, you haven't committed the changes yet.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that'll be good. So you need to put in a message, a commit message in.
Okay.
Yep. Nice. Oh, you just, yeah, I don't know why it doesn't do that automatically. Okay, and now try pulling in changes again, and I think it'll merge it.
Where's the? Where's the pull?
Under the Git menu,
Okay,
and
it's
say
just
Git pull. Yep. Nice, nice. Nice. Say merge. Interesting. Okay, I wasn't. Oh boy, I was hoping it'd be easier than this. It looks like. So okay, sorry, we're doing some advanced workflow stuff. So this is like merging changes in GitHub. I recommend that you click that middle button first that says apply. Yep, all that don't conflict. And then, oh wow, there's all sorts of changes here. You know what? I think this is one of those cases where let's just start with what's ever there in origin.main, and then you can reapply your change.
So that would be accept right.
Yeah, accept right. Yep.
Uh,
And say discard changes and accept right. Yep.
Sounds great.
Okay. And now, how about you reapply your change again, or rechange that file again because I think you blew away the change. You need to open it up first.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Yep. Go to project view.
I can edit this.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I need to hear.
Yeah. So I'm not sure why that merge was so nasty, but yeah, try this again.
All right.
Nice. Yep. Oh, good. Okay. So it's basically saying, hey, those are all the changes.
Sweet.
And it looks like it's pushing it. Looks pretty successful. Okay, yep, gotta log in again. Yeah, I say log in. Oh, that's lame.
Here, I'm gonna
Yep.
log in. Okay. Wait, I log in again.
Yeah, so we need to push now. So go up to Git and say push. Yeah, or you can push it from now. Actually, let's get this working.
Yeah, let's see. So I should.
Yeah, so you can push from there. Oh, good. That
Okay.
worked. Okay, so you know what? You can get IntelliJ working later.
Yeah.
Super awesome. Okay. Yeah, let's go back. Yeah, thanks for sharing your screen again. And now let's edit the pom.xml in the FizzBuzz
All right.
directory.
FizzBuzz,
Yep. Nice. And
Thanks.
sign up for, oh, there you are. Cool. Awesome. Okay, and you want to be the driver. Sweet. Okay. So then I will start, well, actually, let's spend just a couple of minutes talking about the Kata itself. Now, were you familiar with this Kata before? I can't remember if you raised your hand. Have you seen FizzBuzz before?
Yeah, I've seen FizzBuzz.
Okay. So, any ideas for sort of how we want to approach it? Like what tests we might want to write, or?
Well, I would usually approach it like I'd start with like looping over a range, probably. So if we're gonna write a test, maybe we do want to like make a test to see if we put in 5. Maybe we should get buzz.
There you go. I like that. Okay, cool. So, okay, I'm going to start the timer then, because I think that gives us a good place to start. And I'll put, let's put 7 minutes on the clock, and we'll go from there. Okay, so then, we want to start your unit test. Do you know where to get started with the unit tests?
No, I don't.
Okay, so let's go find the FizzBuzz test class. So that would be in the source directory.
Okay.
Yep. And under test. Yep. And yep. There. Oh, you know what? It's called Kata test. Sorry.
Okay.
I forgot to rename it before class. We'll just use this.
So we have a test.
Yep. Well, there's a test right there, and it says all you can do is instantiate the Kata. So let's let's make a new test. Oh, that was unique.
The autocomplete.
Yeah, thank you. We'll blame the AI. Nice. So yeah, okay, cool. You got
Yeah.
no, start with a test annotation, and it's capital T test.
Thank you.
Yep, awesome. And so then test methods are always void. And let's see here. Yeah, it doesn't really tell you very much. So let's see here. What did you say it's gonna be? It was gonna be like we use the number 5,
Yeah, we
right?
can put in 5, and
Okay.
we can see if we get something that ends with buzz.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So do you have a name for the method in mind?
Yeah. 5 buzz.
Nice. Yeah.
5 buzzes.
Yeah. Nice.
Um,
Okay. Oh, and it looks like Copilot or whatever is telling you to create a new kata. Does that seem like reasonable code to you?
That seems strange.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Well-
Add a new kata? What is a kata?
Well, that's a good point. So yeah, kata is like just like the class that's under test there.
Oh, okay. Then we do
Um,
want to create a new
Yeah.
kata.
Yeah. Actually, sorry, I forgot to rename it to FizzBuzz. So
New
that's why. Yeah. And then
And then, how are we deploying our kata? Like, is it taking FizzBuzz as an argument, or is it is
Well,
FizzBuzz a
yeah, that's a good
method
question.
of kata?
Yeah, I like that idea. Right? Yeah. Have
Okay.
FizzBuzz be a method of kata. Yeah.
Okay. And then,
So yeah, do you want to invoke the kata method on? Sorry, the FizzBuzz method on the kata object? Oh, yeah, you got it. Yeah. So are you trying to assign it to a variable?
well, shoot, yeah, I am.
Yeah. Okay.
New kata. Wait, I'm very.
That's all right. Would you like some help?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you need to declare a variable of type kata. So I recommend how you just start over.
Okay. Start
Right? Yeah.
over.
So delete that line. I just delete that one line. I like the method, but I think that first line. Yep. So I think you want to say you want a variable of type kata.
Okay.
Nice.
Kata,
Yeah,
kata.
excellent.
New
Yeah, right.
kata.
It was right all along. Okay. And now, yeah, you want to assert that when the FizzBuzz method on kata is invoked with 5, it returns buzz. So you've used the
I've
assert
used-
keyword there.
There's
Yep.
a class, right, that has my assert in it?
Yeah, actually, if you just say assert that, it'll probably give you the ability to static import. Yeah, so capital T that. Yep. Assert that. Yeah, I know, so many T's. Awesome.
Assert
That's
that.
a method. Yep.
And so.
And-
then
oh yeah,
I'll-
there was
my-
import static. Yep.
Okay.
Sweet. Okay. Right, this is the Hamcrest API, right? We saw a little bit of it last week, but yeah, now we're getting some more. Yeah, you got it, right? So kata.
Kata dot.
Yeah.
Oops. Oh, it's trying to.
Yeah, no,
is that
yeah, by convention in Java, methods begin with lowercase letters. Yep.
kata dot FizzBuzz 5.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then, yeah, I actually say comma equal to.
oh, okay,
Uh,
because it's going to be a string, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Comma.
Space equal to. And capital T2, sorry. Yep.
It's weird
And
that it
then-
can't help me with that.
I know, right? Yeah.
And then
Um,
I probably need to static
Yeah.
method.
Uh-huh.
Is it is equal or
Any of the Hamcrest ones will do that first one. It's probably fine. Yep. And do you want it equal to 5 or?
no?
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I probably want it equal to buzz.
Nice. Okay, cool. And let's see. I see a little bit of red on the screen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I
So
need
like,
one of these. Okay.
Yeah. And so then, the FizzBuzz is red. So how do you click on FizzBuzz to see what you can do there? And then show context actions. Yep. And so yeah, create the method on the kata. And so FizzBuzz returns a string. Nice.
Seems good.
Yep. And so yeah, hit return to accept
Whoops.
the. Oh, okay. That was all right. Yeah. So like you can.
Jump to.
So yeah,
is it command?
yeah, Command B actually, but yeah. Yeah, it's also you can go to was it navigate or I know. Go to. It's up like 5 menu items. Yep.
Go to.
Oh, declaration. Oh, it's okay. F12. Right. Yeah, you have like the new keyboard bindings. I'm still using the ones from like 2005.
All
Nice.
right.
Oh, that looks good.
FizzBuzz I.
Yep.
So.
Oh, these have it. Yeah. Now we want to see this test fail. So, like, how should we implement this code so the test fails?
Well, we probably just want to return I.
Okay. Oh, it seems like it's underlined in red.
It doesn't like it because it's a string.
Yeah,
so we need
nice.
to do I. Is it .toString or is it toString I?
You.
But I can't do it because it's an int, right? So I need
Right,
to invoke
so
like
yeah.
integer .toString or something.
Yes. There's also a static method on this string class called value of. I think that's what I like to use. So
Okay.
capital S string.
Let's see. Oh, is it string dot?
Yeah. String dot value of. Nice. Let's use the
Value of.
keyboard shortcuts. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's run the test to see what happens.
All right. Do I run the?
Oh yeah, sorry. Go
The
back to the Kata
Maven-
test. Nope. I recommend that you just do it from IntelliJ
Oh, right,
here.
right.
Right. Yeah. Just run it like that. Yeah. Let's see how it goes.
Run 5 buzzes.
Nice. It fails because it expected buzz but was 5.
Great.
Sweet. Okay, and that was the end of your time box. Nice going. Let's spend 2 minutes retrospecting. What do you think?
I think it's pretty good. Yeah. It's I don't know. It's probably weird because I haven't done it before. And obviously I had, I think I feel like, it's a little bit harder to perform in public, but
It is. Yep, no question.
you're like a verbal version of the little IntelliSense pop-ups.
I'm really AI. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're very similar. So,
Yes, I am. Yeah.
in that sense,
Yeah.
Instead of like having to look through all the selections on the selection bar, I can just, you can just tell me
Cool. Well, good.
how
So-
an
so,
integer
yeah.
class works. How
Right.
do you feel like it went?
I think it went really well. I appreciate the dialogue and the the communication. We were talking a lot. I thought that was really good. I appreciate the fact that you were comfortable, taking very direct commands at certain times. Like, yeah, type that, use this menu, and things like that. And this is that whole strong pairing type, right? Where it's like, hey, someone that has done this many times, versus someone who's still pretty new to things. But no, I think you did awesome.
All right.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all I'll give Daniel. And would you please commit and push your code back up to GitHub? Awesome. While he's doing that, any observations that you all saw about that initial pairing? Oh, getting into a flow? Yeah. What was the signal that like we were in a flow? Yeah. Like, yeah, we were like out of sync. Oops, and then we were, yeah, in sync. And that's good, right? Where it's like when you sort of get to that. And of course, then the timer goes off. It's like, oh, we were just getting started. But that's okay, right? That's what we're doing tonight. Next week when you all do it for real, there'll be 10 minutes. A 10-minute time on the keyboard. Awesome. Thank you again, Daniel. Greg, thanks for volunteering to be next. Want to come up? Ditch your laptop, please. Well, unless you want me to drive. Actually, what did you? Yeah, you are driving it. Yeah, so yeah, you can. I'm happy to do that. That'll work. Awesome, sweet. Okay, so yeah, let me just make my IntelliJ bigger. Let's see here. I got some of the latest changes. So let me just make sure that I got Daniel's change. Yeah, looks like I did. Sweet. Okay, awesome.
I'm scared.
How's it going tonight? Yeah.
Hopefully good.
Yeah. While I'm setting this up, what are you scared about? Tell me your hopes and fears.
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna not be as good as IntelliSense.
Well, you got IntelliSense to help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, did you have a place in mind that you wanted to start?
So we did the 5 test, right?
Well, we have a failing 5 test.
A failing 5. Okay, let's get that working.
Okay,
Yeah, let's
great.
do that.
So I'm going to navigate here to, what do we call that? Kata test? Yeah, I should have. I remember to rename that. Okay.
Okay, so this one. Failed.
Yeah, actually, oh yeah, I should make sure that it fails for me in my environment. And we just sort of see the same thing here.
So we just created a blank kata.
Yeah, we have like this one instance method on the Kata called FizzBuzz, and sure enough, I clicked a buzz, but was 5. Okay, this is cool. Okay, where do you want to go from here?
Can we go into the FizzBuzz method?
Yeah,
Take a
yeah,
look?
totally.
Let's jump in there.
Yeah, I'm just going to control click into it or command click into
Okay.
it here.
Uh,
Yeah,
Okay, so
wanna
this
do here?
takes an integer and just returns its value.
that's what it's doing right now. Yeah.
Okay, so we should probably modify that.
Okay, yeah. How do you want to modify it?
So we want to let's change the logic of that.
Yeah.
So like, what was it? Is it 3 is fizz and 5 is buzz?
Yes, we're doing buzz right now. Buzz right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's do oh, we're doing buzz. Okay, so let's do if, like maybe if
Yeah.
I modulus
That's percent. Yeah. Right. Yep.
4, or buzz is 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do 5. Yeah, do
Okay.
5. And then
What equals 0? Is that right?
yeah,
Because it's remainder. Yeah. I can
yeah,
remember.
because it's a remainder.
Yep,
And then
okay.
if that's true, which it will be to go into that block,
Yep.
we'll return buzz.
Okay. That will be buzz. Nice. Okay.
And then do we need to do an else for that? Or do
We
you want to-
will, but let's take small steps.
I got you. I got
Development,
okay,
right?
got you.
Because what we're learning about tonight is test from development. So let's not write any code in the main Kata until we have a test for it, right? The only code that we should write should make a test for
Your
pass.
default is like returning the value, though, right?
Yeah.
It's not divisible. So
So
I think you caught me there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well,
But
it's
the test pass.
string
though.
of it. So.
That's
oh,
good.
so that's good. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
great.
So I think
Okay.
that works.
Okay.
Oh, right. Yeah. So actually, because it's a return here, it's not like a default. So it's not like a case statement or something.
Right.
Okay. Nice. Well, let's go back to the test.
Should we do?
Yeah. What test do you want to write next?
Let's see. So we have 5 buzzes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do another one for
Okay.
sure. Let's
Yeah,
do a 3 buzz, 3
Cool.
fizzes.
3 is okay, and so let's see here, Kata.
Make a new kata.
Yeah. Oh, I turned off the AI at some point.
I'm glad you did. It's kind of.
I don't know.
It's
Okay.
overwhelming.
It's a lot. Actually, I'm just going to copy this from.
Yeah. Good call.
Copy and paste.
Free
Okay.
copy pasta.
That's right.
Yeah.
So sorry, we wanted 3, and then then this does fizz, right?
Fizz, yeah. Let's make
Okay.
a test for that too, or the method in the kata for that.
Yeah. Well, actually, we can use the same method, right?
Oh,
So we don't
right.
need to
My
make a new
bad. Yeah,
method.
you're right.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so we don't need
it's
to
totally cool.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay, so
So
I'm going
this
to run
one-
this again.
Hopefully, you should fail.
Right, yeah, we took this one to fail because
Right.
we haven't. Yeah.
We're wearing our
Kinda-
red hat, right? Is that what?
That's right. Yeah, we're in the red. Yeah, we're in the red part
So
of
it's
that.
failed. So now we need to switch to the
Sweet.
green
Okay.
hat. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
So we'll
yeah,
go
we're-
back over and let's see here. Is it anything other than checking to see if it's?
That's why I said start simple. I
Yeah,
get you.
right.
Okay, so else we'll do the same thing,
Yeah.
but we'll do it with 3. So I modulate 3 equals 0.
Yeah.
Return this.
Nice. Okay.
And then that should work, I guess. Makes sense.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it
yeah,
returns the
that's
value. So what should we put in there?
Well, and actually, we don't have.
Run in.
Okay, cool. That one's
Oh, that
great.
would work. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Now, I don't think we have. I mean, actually, so when I was working with Daniel on this, I sort of didn't catch it at the time, but technically, this is actually what the implementation should be. I think there's, if we were like really being purists, we would have like return null or something. Because we didn't, because right now we don't have a test that will fail, like for any other situation.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
So yeah, like what would be a good
So maybe
test,
we can do
yeah.
just test. Oh, it's going to be FizzBuzz, but we're doing tests like, what would this scenario be? Like, I guess just a generic number?
Yeah,
Could we
like
do,
pick your favorite number.
like 23.
23.
Just test 23.
Okay, spell
it's not my
23.
favorite number, but-
Yeah, okay. Okay, well, yeah.
Just a random number. Yeah.
Is 23. It's
Okay.
23.
That makes sense.
Okay, yeah, once again, copy
Same
all
thing.
this. Okay. We'll,
FizzBuzz.
yeah, so 23 equals the string 23.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Let's see. So it's going to show null. I hope.
Right, yeah, right. I think we
Hopefully
said fail.
Right.
Right, saying that, yeah, I expected 23 but was null.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, okay,
There we
cool.
go.
Awesome, okay. So then, good, go back over to the Kata, and now can I just undo? Maybe that'll work.
Hopefully I will
No,
come
no,
in, not
yeah.
be visible by uninvited.
Cool.
Let's see.
Yeah. We'll see. Nice. Okay.
Okay,
So
cool.
everything's passing me. You know what I haven't done in a while? I haven't run all the tests. Let's do that.
Yeah,
Just to make
green
sure.
lights, yeah.
That's right. Yeah. You know, right? It was a little like.
Those little green lights.
That's right.
Was
A
it Matthew
little
McConaughey?
hit.
He was like,
Right.
yeah, he wrote that book or whatever. I see green lights.
Sweet.
All right.
Oh, did that run them all?
I don't know.
I don't think it did.
Oh, do you mind just? There we go. Okay.
I probably didn't do all the entire.
All right.
Oh, why
wow.
is it only saying
I don't know.
one?
Oh, go to the. Do you have to go to 8? Go to the class there. Maybe
I thought
try
it.
that. I don't know if that one will do it. I noticed that on mine too. I think it'll show them all.
Oh, there you go. Now I got
Okay.
them all.
Right,
Okay.
so
I don't know what I missed before. I
Do
thought I
we
was
have
doing
other
that.
cases we need?
Yeah, I think we do. But let's go back to the Kata.
Okay, my bad. My bad.
No.
One will hit.
Oh yeah. So it's like if multiple of both 5 and 3
Okay.
are in FizzBuzz. So we still need to do a FizzBuzz.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. So.
You know, in the meantime, we've been writing all these. We've been doing all this red, green, and we haven't really talked about. Is there a chance to refactor?
Well, we definitely have this Kata 100 times. So
Yeah.
To maintain the dry principle, we could make a method
The
for
dry
that.
principle.
But I don't know. It's up to you. Like, do
I like
you
it.
yourself? We
No,
could
it's up to
do
us,
that.
right? We're gonna, yeah,
We
yeah,
could
I like
iterate
that.
numbers too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's silly or not.
Well, I think the iterating numbers would be a different test.
Sure.
But like we're looking to do the same thing. Oh, but it's the end. Okay, well, but we'll go from there. Awesome. 2-minute retrospective. Like, how was that?
It seemed good.
Yeah.
We got a flow.
Yeah.
I guess. I hope.
How did it match your expectations?
We got 2.
Yeah,
So
right?
that's
You know,
good,
it was
yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. What was it like being the navigator?
It's interesting because I feel like I have to kind of like. Well, it's obviously nice to navigate because you're kind of laid back.
Yeah.
But you can think more.
Oh,
you can
yeah.
analyze
Right.
more when you're
Yeah,
like watching it all unfold in front of you. You know. That's one thing I noticed. You know.
Yeah.
But it's good to have feedback. But you kind of like.
Oh, right.
If I'm in the front seat of the car, I'm like, oh, hey, this is my favorite area. You know, whatever. So it makes sense, I guess. I don't know.
Sweet. Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
I really like that. Yeah, again, it's like a constant conversation, and
Yeah.
it was pretty fast paced.
I'm
Like, we're
trying
getting stuff
to,
done,
yeah.
right?
It's a
Yeah,
short
that was
time,
good.
you
That was
know,
good.
so-
Excellent.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
I guess.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Observations from the crowd. Yeah. What did you see? Yep.
So we have this project
Mm-hmm.
it's like before setup.
Oh, yeah. Before and after. Yeah.
Some people say
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, do you want to volunteer to come up here? We can explore it. Okay, that's cool. Let's go. Let's get grab. So then, yeah, yeah. So the question was, and actually, yeah, let's just take a moment and consider this, because we were talking there towards the end about refactoring. Actually, wait a second. Who's next? Yeah, Nathan, do you want to work on some refactoring, or do you just want to write some more unit tests? You want to talk about some refactoring? Sure, yeah. Come on up. Yeah, let's see here. Oh, good, and you wanted to drive. Yeah. Yep. Sweet. Yeah, awesome. Okay, yeah, so we were talking about, yes, please, yeah. Good. Yep, place for a chair. Yep. There we go. Oh, sorry, I'll make this big so everybody can see it.
Also, when I try to run, it says there's an error.
Oh, yeah, let's get that fixed first. Oh, yeah. Source version 1.5. Well, that's interesting. Can you Can you do would you please go to the command line and run Maven clean, clean space verify? Let's see if this builds. Oh, it didn't. Interesting. Oh, there are test failures. Did you get the latest source code? Do a git pull?
I didn't even get pulled.
Okay, yeah. So did you get this stuff? Oh, didn't get those. So try running clean verify again. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So now let's go back to IntelliJ and see if it's any happier. So yeah, it definitely looks like, nope, it says release version 5. Why is it trying to do that? Please close out your IntelliJ project, or quit IntelliJ altogether. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't need to do it these days. Okay. Nice. And then if you go back to your command line, and we need to delete some files. Yeah, like just go to that terminal, and yeah, go to the directory where your checkout is. Hey, there you go. That was good. And then, oh, well, maybe not. Never mind. Open IntelliJ again. And under the file menu, close the project. So close the project, yep. And then open up, oh, and then, delete, oh, that's why, yeah. Delete that, that project entry. Remove from recent projects. Cool. And now open, again, yep. And open the, let's see here, where's your, wait, don't say that. Say don't open, yep. Navigate into, yeah, there's Katas, navigate into that, and navigate into that. Now the pom.xml here at the top level. Yep, I think you'd open open up that one. I think you would opened up the pom.xml at the FizzBuzz level, and so IntelliJ wasn't recognizing all the stuff that was inherited from the parent pod. Okay, maybe. Okay. How about you share your screen again? That's good. And then let's see if this works any better. Nice. And yeah, let's try to build a project again. Or yeah, go to the Kata, the FizzBuzz Kata test. Yep. And source test. Nice, Kata test. Yeah, try to run these. Current file, that would work. Good. Okay, good. Yeah, we are in business. Excellent. So yeah, you want to do a little refactoring of this code? Yeah. So we were just talking about, hey, we've got all this duplicate code, and in each one of these things, there's this setup where you create a Kata object, and then we basically have like the same assert. And actually, the question that was asked was, should we put that creation of the Kata object in a setup method? I don't know, do you have a point of view on that? Does it make more sense to you to initialize like a field in the class, which is the Kata, or does it make more sense to just have it here in line? I don't know. To you, what do you think?
So basically make a function that has create a new Kata and then do the assert and call that function in all of these?
Well, yeah, it would be a setup function, which means, yeah, and it's a good point. The setup is just called before the framework calls the setup method before the test is executed. So actually, yeah, Uncle Bob did something like this. So let's give it a try and let's see which we like better. And actually, there's a really nice refactoring tool that you can use in IntelliJ, so you won't have to like write the method yourself. It'll do it for you. Want to give that a try?
Yes.
Okay. So find one of the Kata variables, the one in line 19, and right-click on the Kata variable. So yeah, the little K. Yep. And right-click on that one. Oops. No, I'm sorry. Right-click on it, so we get the context menu. Awesome. And then there's the refactor menu. Yeah. And say introduce field. So this will automatically create a field for that, and it'll tell you where do you want to initialize it. There's a drop-down menu, and you want to say in a setup. So that's that last one right there. Yeah. And then like I don't know, hit return or something. Let's look at what this did.
Oh, okay.
Right. So it created a new method called setup. Thank you, IntelliJ. It created actually there on line 13. So there's a new field called Kata. And then, yeah, that is assigned in the setup method, and the setup method is annotated with before each. So basically, before each test, it's going to do that. I don't know. When you look at that code, what do you think? Is that like, oh, that's a cool thing? That's a not so cool thing? Any pros and cons to see?
It saves at least like 3 lines.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Weird.
Okay, yeah, so you like that? Let's
Yeah,
go
I
with
like
it
that.
then.
Let's
Okay.
do it.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, yeah, let's run that. Let's run the test again, and yeah, see how it goes. Nice. Okay. So we replaced that usage in that first test, and so how about we go through and replace it in those other two? Yeah.
Do we need to call?
Nope. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Setup is automatically invoked by the JUnit framework. Yeah. So yeah, let's run it again and see how it goes. Yeah. See how it goes. Nice. Yeah, refactoring. Yeah, this is a great example of refactoring, right? Because we've just changed the code, we haven't changed the behavior or anything, but we have tests that show us that after we've, that everything still works after refactoring. Nice. Okay. Any other refactorings you want to do?
Well, all of these asserts look very similar,
Yeah.
and all they need is input on the left side and on the right side. So maybe we can put that in the setup too.
Well, I don't think you can put it in a setup because it's different for each test case. But how about we do the following? So yeah, let's see if we can basically get a method that does all the assertions instead. So again, we can use IntelliJ to do the lifting for us. So here's the technique that I like to use. So what we're going to do, I'll tell you what we'll do first, and then we'll walk through it. We'll extract variables for like 5 and for buzz, and then what we'll do is we'll create a method that does the assert that and takes those 2 variables in as parameters. So so they're on line 28. If you highlight the 5, yeah, highlight that, and then right-click, say refactor, and say introduce variable. Oops.
Introduce.
Yeah. Okay, and what do we want to call that? Oh yeah, expression 5. Sorry, yeah, I gotta say which expression it wants. Yeah. Buzz number. Yeah.
Should I do them as well?
Nope. No, this is Java. Like camel case is preferred. Yep. Cool. That's nice. And then do that same extract variable for the whole string buzz, including the double quotes. Nice. Mm-hmm. Oh, it didn't like it for some reason. I didn't like it. Introduce variable. Not. Oh, okay. Right. Because that. Yeah. So like just. That's cool. Yeah. What do you got? Yeah. Here you go. Hit return. That seemed to work. Maybe buzz string. I don't know. I was gonna say yeah, using Vim mode. Okay, brave man. I don't even like using Vim mode in Vim. Okay. Sorry. Cool. Okay. Awesome. So the next thing then is we want to turn that assertion statement into a method. So if you select the entire statement there, so yeah, from assert to the end, yeah, just highlight it there, and then right click again, and say refactor introduce method. Oh, sorry, extract method. External was, yeah. Okay. So now it like creates a method that does all of that, and so I don't want to say like what do I want to call this method?
Assertion.
Yeah, maybe just like assert FizzBuzz. Oops. I want to do that timeout or time. Oh. Yeah, do that. Yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah, select it again and do the right click. Oops. No, you don't need to delete it. Actually, anything but. Yeah, so like, yeah, select it. Yep. And, oops. Let's go. I do apologize. Okay, yeah, refactor extract method. Yep. Yeah, let's call it assert FizzBuzz. Nice. Yep. Yeah, hit return. And then looking to change method signature, do control. What was it complaining about? Okay, that's neat. Oh yeah. And then it's finding another example of it. So yeah, I guess hit return or something. How do you?
Stuff.
Oh, that's weird.
Okay.
Okay. Nice.
So we made an assert FizzBuzz method.
Yeah. Cool. Let's run the test again. See if it still works. Nice. Okay. And now the next thing to do would be to replace. Well, actually, there's one more thing we should do in that FizzBuzzes. So we created those two variables, but we don't really need them anymore. We need the values of them though. So if you click on the buzz number, right-click on the buzz number, and say refactor inline. Yeah, inline variable, right? So you see how it takes that variable, it just puts the value into its usage, right? And do the same thing for buzz string. Yeah, there you go, right? I mean, that's like way easier to read, right? You don't need to have those variables anymore. But we had them temporarily so that we knew, to create those two parameters. Nice. Okay, well, that's into the time box. So what'd you think?
You did most of the work.
Well, I don't know, yeah, I mean, but I'm the navigator, right? But you did all the typing, and I mean, trust me, if I had to if we were sharing a keyboard and I had to go into VI mode, it'd be like WWWR. Yeah, right. I'm so bad at VI. Cool. But yeah, that was that's some of the. What do you think of the tools that IntelliJ has to refactor? I mean, was that sort of like intuitive? Have you ever seen anything like that before?
No, I mean it's helpful, but I would never figure that out by myself.
Well, that's why you pay all this money for this class, right?
Yeah. So I would have learned it by just typing.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, and that's what code refactoring is all about. I mean, it's actually one of the more advanced things that we do in here. But I realize that professionally, I use this kind of stuff all the time, and it really helps the code just be easier to work with, and it's much more readable now. And yeah, that's what we're playing with. Sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Should I do a push real quick?
Yes, please. Yeah, do a commit and push. Yeah. Awesome. What did everybody else think? What was that like? Yeah, thumbs up. Yeah, right. And this is the red-green refactor, right? So we wrote some failing tests, we made them pass, and then we refactored the code to make it better. So we had a chance to do that. That's cool. Sweet.
And then stop share.
Please. Yeah.
All right, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Wesley. Yeah, that was great. Can I clap? How about clap? I'll clap. Awesome. Okay, well then. Sweet. I'm looking at the time. I think it's all we got for tonight. Look, I think it's all the volunteers that we have for tonight too, right? Unless someone was like, "Oh, I saw other people do it. I want to do it too." No. Nope, and that's fine. This was good for tonight. So that's pair programming, right? It's two people having a conversation. One person's driving, another person's navigating. When you get to experience it next week, you'll get to be in both roles and switch back and forth. And so then you'll be thinking about what you saw tonight, the ideas that you have for your pair. We'll be doing something very similar, but with a different kata, one that is slightly more involved. It's a leap year's kata, and we'll go into it next time. If you want to read ahead, go ahead and do that. I don't have the repo set up yet, but I'll do that between now and next week. Any final thoughts, questions about what you saw tonight? No. Okay then. Well, once again, please be sure to review the screencast that I pre-recorded to learn about your project one. I do encourage you between now and Monday to at least break ground on it. Make sure you can create the project and play around with it. Make sure that you can get the command line to run, start exploring the tests. Actually, be on the lookout for one more concept. I haven't had a chance to introduce the integration tests, and you really need to know that, so I'll create another screencast all about that. I don't think I'll do that before Monday to learn all about those. And then, yeah, next time, so again, we have Monday. Monday's a holiday, and then a week from tonight, you'll be doing some pairing. So, yeah, looking forward to that. In the meantime, have a good week. I will see you all later. Thanks for joining everybody online. Bye.
Thank you.